Hey guys, my name is Haley and today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Real Talk tag, which Kate tagged me in like a couple days ago, and I figured I should probably film that now before I forget because I don't film tags like ever anymore, I feel like. And it's basically just talking about your thoughts on Booktube, so I'm gonna try not to make it negative. Kate's was super negative, but I'm not a super negative person, so it might not be, we'll see. But I'm just gonna get right on into answering the questions. Question number one is, what is something no one told you about Booktube before you made your channel? And honestly, the only thing I could think of for this was editing. Like, I knew absolutely nothing about editing, and I also followed a lot of booktubers at the time, which, if you didn't know, I made my channel like, I think almost 3 years ago now. Has it really been 3 years? Okay, whoa. But I actually followed a lot of channels that like started around the same time as me, and not all of them did edit, so I did learn how to do like jump cuts and stuff after like a couple of videos on like iMovie, which I still use. And I think I've gotten much better at editing lately because I've been doing so many concert vlogs, so I've been doing different types of editing. But yeah, I definitely did not know how to edit whatsoever. I had never even tried to edit videos in my life before starting Booktube. So I think that was the main thing that no one told me anything about before I started. Question number two is, what is your opinion on the typical Booktube videos, aka book hauls, wrap-ups, TBRs, etc.? And I actually really like the typical like Booktube videos. Like, when I'm looking for new channels, I'll either look up the Booktube newbie tag, or I will look up just like wrap-ups or even reading vlogs, and if I like see it in like a suggested thing, I'll put it in my watch later and then go look at the channel at a later date and just do like binge watches of like new people and decide like who I want to watch and like see more of. And usually if I find a channel that I'm like somewhat interested in, I'll watch like the last 2 or 3 wrap-ups because I like to see like what they read, and that's mainly what I watch. I don't normally start with vlogs or anything like that, which is weird because I think for me vlogs are the most fun to film, but I feel like vlogs are something like you have to kind of know the person to be interested in a vlog, if that makes any sense. So I don't usually start with vlogs. I do usually start with like wrap-ups because that's the easiest way to see what people read, and that's really what I'm looking for in a Booktube channel. I mean, it's different with other YouTube channels that I watch, which I watch all kinds of YouTube, but that's what I usually do. So I do really like the typical Booktube videos, even though I'm not the biggest fan of hauls. Like 90% of the time, if it's not a friend of mine, I won't watch a haul because they're always the same books, at least the hauls that I see. So I kind of like, okay, you're gonna give me a synopsis of this book that I already know what it is because everybody else has talked about it, that type of thing, which is also why I don't give synopsises in my videos, if you've never noticed. Because I feel like a lot of them, unless it's like a really obscure book or like a synopsis that's really weird or I find super interesting and that's the reason why I liked the book, I won't give a synopsis most of the time, more than like a sentence, if that. So if you ever wondered why I don't do synopsises, that's why. And I also don't watch TBRs because 90% of the people, at least in my experience, when they make a TBR, unless it's for a readathon, don't read those books in that month. So I'm like, why did you make a TBR? So I have a love-hate relationship with some of the Booktube like typical videos, but I do really love wrap-ups. Like, that's why I'm on Booktube, to see what your thoughts were on a book. Question number 3 is, what was an assumption you had about Booktube before you joined? And I'm trying to even think if I had assumptions about Booktube. Like, I did watch Booktube and I had been watching it for like a year or 2 before I made my own channel. The only assumption I can think of is that I guess I thought that people read less than they did. Like, there are some people on Booktube that read a ton, and I've always read a lot, but I definitely was not reading at the capacity that a lot of booktubers were reading, at least when I started out like 2 or 3 years ago. So it was a shock to see some people reading like 30 books in a month and then other people reading like 3. Because before watching Booktube, I was at like a point in my life where I wasn't reading a ton. Like, in middle school was my prime reading time. Like, I would read like 1 million books a month, but it definitely slowed down in high school mainly because I was doing a lot of theater, and theater like consumed all of my free time, so I wasn't reading as much. Yeah, I guess I assumed that people read at the pace that like normal people in real life read, and not like the Booktube level of like a lot of people where there's like 20-30 books a month. That's the only assumption I can think of. And was it proven to be correct or not? Actually, sometimes it was proven to be correct that people only read like less than 10 books a month, and other times you come across a channel where people read insane amounts, which as someone who reads quite a bit now, and especially while I like was starting Booktube, I read a ton, so I don't know if it was proven right or not. Question number 4 is, what is something you've done that has actually helped you grow your audience? And me and Kate joke about this a lot, especially lately since I posted that Astro concert vlog, that like all of my new subscribers are Astro stans, which if you are an Astro stan, please let me know down below who your like bias is. I want to know everything about it. But like, I feel like my channel has turned into something completely different from just like the typical Booktube thing that I've done for like a year and a half, 2 years, and has morphed into like, these are all of my interests, and here's like what I do for church, and here's what I read, and here's a concert that I went to, and I like to vlog them for like my own memories. So my channel is just kind of turning into like all of Haley's interests rather than Haley Reads, which is the name of this channel. And honestly, I've been thinking about changing it. I just have no idea what to change it to, so we'll see if that ever happens. Like, I know there's some new like book subscribers, and like it was at the time period that I was posting like all Astro stuff, and I was like, oh, sorry book people, like I have other interests and this is something I'm really excited about right now. So I hope you guys don't mind all of the new content. If like, I'm gonna post it anyway because I like having this like channel be my interests and my life. But it's also just turned into, I don't know what to call the channel, because Haley Reads doesn't quite sum up what this channel is anymore, in my opinion. If you're here for the K-pop content, I really do want to know that. Please let me know down below if that's how you found me, because I honestly don't know how people found my channel other than like Kate mentioned me in a video, which happens quite often because we talk every day. But yeah, basically I have no idea how I've grown my channel. I'm like sitting at like 370 subscribers right now, and for a long time I was stuck at like between the 200 and 300 mark, so I don't know how to grow a channel, basically. Is what I'm saying. I wish I did. If I did, we would be somewhere else. But yeah, I've never minded the smaller audience, but I also don't love not knowing what people want to see. So if there are any video suggestions that you have, please let me know down below, and I will definitely keep them in mind for future videos. Question number 5 is, what is a common mistake that you see new booktubers making, or even mistakes that you made when you started your channel? I would definitely say is the buying a ton of books at once. Like when I first started my Booktube channel, I was just picking up books from the thrift store and like thrift books as soon as I learned what that was. And I even did a couple book outlet orders, and I have a giant stack of unhaul books that's literally almost as tall as me, because I bought a bunch of books that I liked, but like they've turned into ones that I really enjoy, but I'm not going to keep on my shelves because I'm trying to keep it at like my favorites or ones that I really liked. So anything below like a 3.5 I'm like trying to get rid of now, and now I just have too many books that I can't get rid of that I need to like sell or take to little free libraries or something. But yeah, definitely buying way too many books, and ones that I didn't even read because I wasn't that interested in them, but they were just cheap, so I bought them. That's a mistake I see a ton of new booktubers making, and I really wish that I hadn't. Question number 6 is, what are your thoughts on working with publishers or sponsorships? And I can't even speak from experience with this because I've never worked with like an actual publisher or like a sponsorship or anything like that. The most I've worked with is like indie authors, usually Christian fiction authors that like self-published their book, and they were like, here, can you read this and review it on your channel, because I found your channel and I thought it was a really nice medium to get my book out in the world. And those I usually accept and will read them and review them on my both my channel and Goodreads. And I don't normally have an issue with sponsorships, especially watching other people's videos, but I feel like it has to be something that you already like or are very interested in, like fits with what you already have on your channel. Like, I've heard the example lately that booktubers were doing something with like sponsorships with like a refrigerator or something, and I was like, First of all, I've never seen a sponsorship with the refrigerator, so I don't know what booktubers are talking about, but that seems very strange to me. Like, your channel's a booktube channel, you don't need to be talking about a refrigerator. Or like people that wear glasses. I know Glasses USA does a bunch of sponsorships with booktubers, or like the tea company that does a bunch of sponsorships. Those I think are fine if you like already like those things, but if you're gonna like do something with like coffee and you don't drink coffee, I'm like, why did you put this on your channel? Because I feel like it just doesn't feel genuine when you're reviewing something that you've never spoken about before and getting paid to do it. It just, in my opinion. Question number 7 is, do you think booktube is dying? And I honestly have no idea where this came from because it's definitely not. I do think booktube is like changing from like where it was a year or two ago and just like strictly book content and strictly YA fantasy. There's definitely a ton more booktubers that are like starting channels and talking about other things, or like other genres even, or like people like me that read all over the board of different types of books. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's dying. I think the publishing world is doing really well because of booktube, especially like some of the bigger ones. So I think it's just changing from what it originally was like years ago. And question number 8 is tag your friends. I'm gonna tag Connor. Hopefully he hasn't done this yet, even though I know Kate tagged him as well. And I think I'll tag Oshina as well. I hope you enjoyed this, hearing me just kind of rant and talk about my thoughts on booktube. Again, if you are a K-pop stan, or if you are even remotely interested and don't hate the K-pop content that I've been putting out, please let me know down below in a comment, because I feel like my comments have not been as many as they used to be. And I don't know if it's just because so many book people on my channel are like, whoa, so much K-pop, I don't know what this is, which I completely understand. I had friends that got into K-pop way before me, and sometimes I would be like, well, I don't know what's going on, so maybe I won't watch this entire 40-minute video. So like, I get that. But if you are a K-pop stan, if you're an Astro stan, basically just let me know what type of content you like seeing the most from me. That's basically what I'm trying to find out. But thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.